That is some demonic energy. You can almost, you look at some of these people and you realize there really is some, there might be some spiritual component to the evil like this. Anyway, click the links for Odyssey. Bitch, you join the Telegram if you're brave, or click to become a member of this channel or support channel on Coffee, Crypto. They have various other Subscribestar is good too, because they have videos, a lot of video uploads on there. So eventually, some people you look at and you just know they're not all there. Like there's a spectrum of sociopathy on one end of the spectrum, and then somewhere between that and somewhat normal and well balanced and seeing the world somewhat as it is like borderline personality disorder type of stuff. And there's a certain group of people who lack self-awareness. They just seem incapable of it. Anyway, so eventually Hollywood is going to be 100% POC, as well it should be. Accelerated. Hollywood openly discriminates against the fair hobbits of the light. So Daily Mail had this article that came out a few months ago about how anti-white Hollywood is, which I think I did a few months ago, but it's really not. There's some things that you have to move around articles, issues in articles so much that it's kind of pointless to do on YouTube, which is, they make better Odyssey and Bit Chute videos, which you're going to have to get on Odyssey. Odyssey and Telegram, they require a burner phone number, but eventually you're going to want to get that burner number anyway, just for all kinds of stuff. Anyway, so all this stuff in Hollywood, all this anti-white hatred, it's like this article says everything that we've been trying to say for years, as carefully as the platform will allow. First of all, there is no saving Hollywood. And to keep it 100, on the larger scale, there's no saving America. At this point, it just needs to split into different ideological zones, because you have people who clearly have irreconcilable differences. Oh, I know what we'll do. We'll remake something, and we'll have a POC girl who's a super genius. Like, hey, that's actually kind of a trope. It's called the Mary Sue or the Purse Puppy. What? I'm sure it'll sell. No, you don't understand. This is like a thing. It's like people know this. It's cringe. It's called cringe. You're familiar with that concept? And you tell them that, you try to explain it to them, and it's like, you might as well speak to a brick wall. And ultimately, it doesn't matter. They're working for Netflix, and if they get paid to write cringe, and they go, oh yeah, okay, here's $250,000 to do this cringy show. All right. So it's cringe, it's going to bomb, and you're there because you yourself are a purse puppy. So maybe that's where the lack of self-awareness comes in. But it's not, like, there's no chance it's going to succeed, and it's like the kind of the video store method concept for digital and back in the day in the real world, where you had a store and it had a certain geographic footprint, and you had so many VHS tapes up on the wall. And, only a certain percent, and now the digital equivalent for Netflix, Amazon, that kind of stuff, it's like they have to have all these shows. So you go to this like digital commercial and you see this wall full of titles. And realistically, most of them are crap, and some are just like Batwoman bad. There's only a tiny percentage that you actually want to buy, but they want you to get that monthly subscription fee. So they have to show just a wall of choice, and you think, oh, well, this one's got the most choice. And if you look a little bit closely at it, you realize, like, oh, these are horrible. Like Batwoman bad. If you try to watch Batwoman, if you went into Batwoman unaware, you'd be with it for like the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe, trying to figure out like what frequency it's resonating on, and then you realize, oh, it's not. It's just garbage. It's like everything is in the right place. They've got sets and costumes and the camera work and the sound. Everything is like technically done right, but you realize, oh, the writing and the characterization these are all purse puppies. It's just a United Colors of Bennington approach. It's absolute crap. Well, that's the same way with digital video sales. Is they have this just wall of garbage to get you to come in and think like, oh, well, I only want to pay $10 to one account, so I'll go with the one who's got the most stuff. And then you take a fine look at it, and you're like, oh my God, These are kind of, I don't know what they call those lost leaders type of thing. That's kind of what it is. Anyway, if I said people need to split apart in a 20 or pre-2020, you probably would have laughed, but nobody's laughing now. And in fact, now you're listening to me and to other people like me, not for the YouTube stuff, but for the Odyssey and Bit Chute stuff, because my channels are over there and all the other alt media channels are growing just really high, almost. I don't want to say a scary rate, because, well, and the thing is, I know there's no left wingers listening to this, but it's when you can actually see the accelerationism happen in full time. It's like, well, okay, this ride's going to happen. Like, this ride's going to happen whether you want it to happen or not. It's kind of a weird feeling. Anyway, it's I don't know if you read that book by Cornelius Ryan called The Bridge Too Far. There's a scene in that book where the hairs on the back of your neck go up, because they talk about that they're in this village and they're watching the soldiers go back, retreat, move, and because the opposition's on the other side of it, and then they stop moving, and then it slowly dawns on the people in the village, like, oh shit, they're gonna fight a battle right fucking here. Yeah, they're no longer moving. It's like they've stopped and dug in. It's like, oh, it's actually going to happen. Well, grab whatever you can grab and dip on it out of there. Anyway, where's I going with this? We don't need Hollywood. You don't actually need the circuses and the sports ball. Oh, and supposedly leftists are finally catching on to the nature of the phrase sports ball, that it's not a complimentary, that it has multiple deeper meanings. So they're starting to touch on that, which is it's interesting to hear them talk around their own elephants in the room. Sports ball, it's a derogatory term to what? Sitting in front of a TV and having your mind wiped by brainwashing propaganda. Yeah, all these. Yeah, it's a derogatory term, and everyone in the media should be treated with as much derision as possible. These companies hate you. They hate you based on your national origin. They hate you for things that other people allegedly did. And I know it's kind of a deep topic for a YouTube pop culture video, but it's all connected. It's just this one's big spider web. So you can't meet them in the middle or talk them out of hating you. You can physically separate, and you can stop supporting people who actually hate you. They have taken their mask off. They tell you who they are. You can believe them. So this lady is racist, and there's no politically correct way to soft pedal that. She's hired by a company that hates you. Netflix is like allowing propaganda into your house. What do they call that? I mean, the TV, the digital screen, anything like that that's coming from an Amazon, a Netflix, HBO, CBS. It's the digital Bolshevik brainwashing machine. And I mean, the worst thing is that you pay for it, which is a trip. So, you don't have to. Like, if you really are into these shows, like, you don't have to. You can, there are alternatives available. So, how do you get eaten by your own pit bulls? Sorry, Wanderer's Choice. How do you get stung by a scorpion? Well, how do you get fired by the people that you hired? You knew it was a scorpion when you gave it a ride across the water. What did you... Hop on, little scorpion friend. I'll give you a ride. I'm a little froggy. I'm just going to make my way across these lily ponds. Well, what did you expect? It's a scorpion. Why did it sting? Because it's the nature to sting. So there is a bigger question of who gets to write stories, issues of ethnicity from... Oh, I don't want to go into that. Different subcategories. The thing is, I'm just wisely skipping over that. But it's all mostly a moot point, because and I say mostly because politics is downstream from culture. There is somewhat culture is downstream from social media pressure, a little bit of that. But the people who get to tell stories are the people who get paid for it. It just really is simple as that at the primary. Netflix decides who they hire. Netflix hires Netflix. They're the ones ultimately in charge. And I said mostly because there are federal laws meant to prevent discrimination. But apparently a woman at the USSC doesn't know what a woman is. It's an adult human female. So I think you're kind of effed seeking legal redress of grievance from a woke justice system. That hearing should terrify you. That she didn't answer the question, and the country's not up in arms over it, legally and constitutionally speaking. So Netflix hired someone who admits to being anti-white. The problem is deeper than simple pop culture race swaps for character. And we made a reverse puppy. Yeah, I'm sure that'll work out.